Welcome to United Report, your daily hub for all things Manchester United. From breaking news to transfer talk and match updates, we've got every red covered. If you live and breathe United, hit subscribe and join the family. Glory, glory, Man United.
Devastating news from Spain. Liverpool star Diogo Jota and his brother, fellow footballer Andre Silva, have tragically passed away following a fatal car accident in Zamora. The 28-year-old had only recently celebrated his wedding just 2 weeks ago. The entire football world is in mourning today as tributes pour in from Liverpool FC, the Portuguese Football Federation and fans around the globe. In this video, we remember the life, legacy and unforgettable impact of Diogo Jota, a beloved teammate, father and role model who will never be forgotten. A picture has emerged of the wreckage of the fatal accident that claimed the life of Liverpool star Diogo Jota. The forward passed away at around 00:30 local time in the Spanish province of Zamora on Thursday. Jota's brother and fellow professional footballer Andre Silva, 26, also died in the accident. A tyre blowout on the Lamborghini they were travelling in caused the crash before a fire broke out. This news comes just under 2 weeks after the Portugal international married his long-term girlfriend, Ruth Cardoso, with whom he has 3 children. They tied the knot on June 22nd. A picture has now emerged from the incident, showing the devastating wreckage by the side of the road. Medical personnel can be seen around the destroyed vehicle. Emergency services in the Castilla and Leon region confirmed the crash with a statement which read, "The 112 Castilla y Leon operations room received several calls reporting a vehicle accident at Comarson 65 of the A52 in the municipality of Cernadilla, Zamora. A car was reported to have been involved in an accident and the vehicle was on fire. 112 notified the Zamora Traffic Police, the Zamora Provincial Council Fire Brigade and the Saga Emergency Coordination Centre of this accident." From there, a medical emergency unit UME and the primary care medical staff MAP from the Mbeumo Health Centre were sent, who confirmed the death of 2 people on the scene. According to El País, the fire damage from the crash prevented tests from being carried out to confirm that the 2 victims were Jota and his brother. Tributes have poured in for the Liverpool star and his brother. The Reds released a statement which read, "Liverpool Football Club are devastated by the tragic passing of Diogo Jota. The club have been informed the 28-year-old has passed away following a road traffic accident in Spain along with his brother, Andre." Liverpool FC will be making no further comment at this time and request the privacy of Diogo and Andre's family, friends, teammates and club staff is respected as they try to come to terms with an unimaginable loss. We will continue to provide them with our full support. Pedro Proença, the president of the Portuguese Football Federation, also paid his respects, saying the Portuguese Football Federation and all of Portuguese football are completely devastated by the death of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva this early morning in Spain. Much more than an amazing player with almost 50 internationalizations for the national A team, Diogo Jota was an extraordinary person, respected by all teammates and opponents, someone with an infectious joy and a reference in the community itself. On my behalf, and on behalf of the Portuguese Football Federation, I express my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Diogo and Andre Silva, as well as Liverpool FC and FC Penafiel, the clubs where, respectively, lined up the players. The Portuguese Football Federation has already asked UEFA for a minute's silence this Thursday before the match of our national team with Spain in the Women's European Championship, lost to 2 champs. The disappearance of Diogo and Andre Silva represent irreparable losses for Portuguese football, and we will do everything to daily honour their legacy. Manchester United are doing everything they can to land Bryan Mbeumo, but getting a deal over the line has never been easy. Brentford's technical director Lee Dykes has revealed the insane story behind how Mbeumo first joined the Bees in 2019, involving a private jet, 43-degree heat, a failed first meeting and a terrifying flight through snow and lightning. Now, with United's 60 million bid rejected, can they finally get their man? Let's dive into this dramatic transfer saga, past and present. It's not easy getting a deal for Bryan Mbeumo over the line. Just ask Brentford technical director Lee Dykes. The Cameroon star remains at the top of Manchester United's wish list as Ruben Amorim strives to pep up his forward line following a dire season at Old Trafford. United have seen several bids, including a 60 million offer, rejected, but remain hopeful of getting their man, having already snared Matheus Cunha from Wolves. Brentford signed Mbeumo from French side Troyes in 2019, although their pursuit of the striker was far from straightforward. It was a big moment for Dykes, who had recently joined from EFL side Bury. I felt big pressure because I walked into a function where I was trying to take forward some of the good work that had already been done, he told the Bees website in December 2023. Coming into Brentford, I'd never really spent a lot of money. I'd always worked at League 1 and League 2 level. The most I'd spent was £50,000 on a player, and then 6 weeks later, we were paying £5 million for Bryan Mbeumo. So obviously you start to think, wow, this is big money. But at the end of the day, it's just different money, same process. Dykes, co-director of football, Rasmus Ankersen and head coach Thomas Frank made a whistle-stop trip to France in an effort to complete a deal on Mbeumo, only for those initial talks to come to nothing. We were figuring that there was a possibility to sign Bryan, said Dykes. We had cleverly sourced that information, having been told that he wouldn't entertain the championship. It became quickly apparent that we had to get in and out of France in a day, as Thomas Frank had his training commitments because it was near to the season starting. Where the meeting was going to take place, there was no airport close enough we could find from London or a route to do in one day, so we didn't know if we could make it work. I remember Rasmus just calling me up saying, I spoke to Matthew Benham, club owner, and he said he'll fire up a jet and we'll get over there at that point. I was just thinking, wow. But that's when I started to feel the pressure. I'd lined it all up with Troyes, as well as the agents that were involved, so me, Thomas and Rasmus got on this jet. We got there, it was one of the hottest days of the year. It had reached about 43 degrees Celsius when we landed. It was a 60-minute journey, and the air conditioning wasn't working in the taxi we got in. We had the meeting, spoke with the player, the club and the agent, but the deal broke down. So, I had convinced everyone to fly over to France to get this deal done. I thought it was going to get done, but it had broken down. A bad day then got even worse for Dykes before a deal for Mbeumo was eventually revived. He added on the way back, and I'm not a good flyer in general, the pilot turned to us and said, it's chaotic weather in London, it's snowing, there's thunder, there's lightning. I was thinking, what? It was 43 degrees when we left France, and the journey back was horrendous. I could see the pilot avoiding the dark spots on the radar. I was bricking it. But fortunately, we landed safely, and more importantly, managed to turn around the deal a few days later and eventually sign him. So Brentford fans must know that I risked my life to sign Bryan Mbeumo. Time is running out for Manchester United to get their transfer business done before pre-season kicks off. With only Matthias Cunha signed so far, Ruben Amorim is still waiting on key arrivals including a striker and a winger. The club is preparing a third bid for Bryan Mbeumo, while talks for Victor Gyökeres have stalled. Meanwhile, Marcus Rashford has emerged as a surprise target for Bayern Munich. With so many moving parts, let's break down the latest from Old Trafford and what United must do next. The clock is ticking down on Manchester United's quest to get business done before the start of pre-season. Ruben Amorim's hope was to integrate new players into his team on the club's tour of the United States. But with a return to training coming in less than a week, only Matthias Cunha has been signed. Bids have been rejected for Bryan Mbeumo, and the Red Devils have not made any progress on securing on a new striker. There has been nothing in terms of incoming transfer fees either. While the likes of Victor Lindelof and Christian Eriksen have seen their deals end, Marcus Rashford, Anthony, Jadon Sancho and Alejandro Garnacho all remain contracted to United. With the club looking to improve upon a 15th place finish from last term, there is work to be done. United will hope some progress is imminent. Sporting CP are set to find themselves under less pressure to sell Victor Gyökeres, despite the Swedish international's desire to depart this summer. The Portuguese club are willing to allow Gyökeres depart for less than his release clause, but will be under little financial pressure to facilitate his exit. Sporting are confident of completing a £55 million 47.2 million deal with Crystal Palace for defender Ousmane Diamand in the coming days, boosting their funds. Gyökeres has drawn interest from Arsenal and Manchester United this summer as he pushes for an exit. The Gunners reportedly had a bid in the region 60 million rejected by Sporting last month. The club are unlikely to allow the forward to leave for less than the 68.6 million they want, with Sporting's president Federico Varandas highlighting fees already agreed for Matthias Cunha and Martin Zubimendi. Marcus Rashford is among the players being considered by Bayern Munich this summer. Vincent Kompany is keen to add a winger to his squad this summer, and the Manchester United Academy product is on the German side's long list of targets. Bayern looks set to miss out on Nico Williams to Barcelona, a team also linked with a move for Rashford. Per reports in Germany, Rashford is not a priority at the Allianz Arena with Williams, Liverpool's Luis Diaz and Paris Saint-Germain star Bradley Barcola all on the agenda. Manchester United appear to be readying a third bid for Brian Mbeumo as they continue their talks with Brentford over a deal for the forward. The Red Devils want to land the Cameroon international in time for the start of their pre-season next week. That said, the club are reportedly adamant they will not overpay to add to their squad, having seen 2 deals rejected already. But it seems they will not wait long in their efforts to persuade the Bees. Ex-chief scout Mick Brown said, "United are going to make another bid in the coming days, and they're confident they can get it done. From what I hear, I'm expecting things to speed up soon, and I think it will go ahead."